Hey guys, welcome back to another bookshelf review. I'm Grim, and today we're going to be going over The Church Beneath the Roots. As far as I can explain, it's a fucking ride. So let's strap in. Let's go over this together. On the Cold Valley Indian Reservation, in the shadow of Pale Peak, Onway Lopez struggles with the past as much as the present. By day, he watches his people abandon the old way as they flock to the local church. By night, he dreams of his childhood friend, Akantha, who vanishes from the res decades prior. Then, catastrophe strikes. A horrific accident brings a stranger to town with stories of unfathomable death. A ghastly figure wanders the night, peering into houses and terrorizing a tribal elder. Hideous whispers emanate from nearby caves, beckoning Onway inside, and promising to return everyone he's lost. The Church Beneath the Roots is a story of a town ravaged by memory, riven by change, and haunted by a sinister presence as old as the mountain itself. The Church Beneath the Roots was published March 29th, 2024. It's about 345 pages long, and I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Felix Blackwell, he never misses. He just doesn't. He doesn't miss. And this book is no exception. As a precursor to Stolen Tongues, it is phenomenal in my objective opinion. One second here. Get this pulled up. Perfect. From front to back, broad strokes. It was a page turner. It was a trip. It was sad. It was funny in parts. It was everything I wanted it to be personally. As somebody who's a huge fan of Stolen Tongues, this was a very, very faithful precursor. And again, this is all just my opinion. If you don't agree with my opinion, great. Awesome. Love that. I think at its core, this book is also all tragedy. Very much like I had said about the Sorrow Stones, where like front to back, everything's just fucking bleak and it's cold and everything is just, it's very grounded. Weirdly, it's very grounded and very oppressive. It's sad. It's very upsetting in places. Felix Blackwell also somehow, some way made it feel very claustrophobic, even though it was set on a reservation, which like big sweeping landscapes. It just somehow feels so tight, like everything's like not fun. I think as far as a faithful precursor, you really get to see like the full display of everything that is going on in Stolen Tongues. You really get to see like the whole shit, and you get to see where some stuff comes from. Everything leading up to the climax of the book is insane. Like everything is a trick on the mind. Like what's real, what's not. There's some plot twists. This book has everything, man. It's hard to talk about it for me because I think this genuinely was my favorite read of this year. Like if I had to give a number one spot, it would be to this book so far. But that's just my opinion. But we're on my channel now, aren't we? So I can have my opinion. I believe that everything about this book was made with good intention and with the overwhelming success that Stolen Tongues had. I feel like this book arguably is better, in my opinion. I feel like this book he really got to flex some of his writing prowess. He really got to, hone his craft, kind of strut his stuff a little bit better. But that's just my opinion about the author and how he did it. as far as the book goes, I mean, it takes place in the wintertime on a mountain. It feels cold. I can feel the cold in my bones. It's wintertime here right now. So I go outside and it's like, oh my God. That's how I feel. The main character, Onway, is so relatable. At least to me. He is a man who is constantly in the shadow of his father, and he's haunted by addictions and everything he says and all the opinions he has. I was just the whole time I was reading, I'm like, no, that, you know what? No, I'm with him 100% in that. This book has a lot of really not niche, but a lot of poignant things. There's a whole background arc to this book about I guess not really background, it's pretty foreground, about the Christian conversion to the old way, and who stays here and who goes there. Onway's best friend in the book, Luke, dropped his birth name and picked up a Christian name, and the whole religious thing is the biggest point of contention in the relationship, and it really shows it shows a lot of maturity or immaturity between the two of them, and I think it's something that's really well displayed and something that's really well it's done well. That's it's done well, in my opinion. It's not Felix Blackwell's not making you feel one way or another about it. Really, he's not. But he's this is this way, this is this way, this is this person's perspective on this team, this is this person's perspective on this team. This is what it is. And I had read a review prior to doing this about the book because I was just curious on what somebody thought, and they rated this book really poorly, where I have not. They rated this book a 2 out of 5, and they're yeah, the book was good, but and that whole thing was their biggest point of contention because Felix Blackwell's a white dude. He has a whole post on Horror Lit on Reddit, I talked about in Stolen Tongues, that is gives his reasons for everything he's written. Sorry, I just punched the microphone. And I think it explains it just fine. And his resources and the people he's talked to and his influence for it and yada yada yada. If you want to check it out for yourself, feel free. I've read it. It's really lengthy, but I feel he does a good job. This is why, and here's my sources. It's great. I think all in all, if I had to give a number one prize sticker for my favorite read of this year, it would be this book. Because this is the only book this year that I've read that was well, that's not true. A Lonely Broadcast had 1 and 2. This one was a 1 and 2 as well, but this one has the only other one that I read. And I had such high expectations coming for it, and they were meet and beyond. My expectations were met and beyond what my expectations were. This book made me it made me retrospect, look inside myself at some things. It's man, maybe I shouldn't be such a piece of shit. And I don't know, there's some stuff that if you've had a somewhat traumatic life, this read is probably good for you. Or if you had any stuff like that, I'm kind of just rambling at this juncture, but that's fine. I think if I had to put a number on it, I would give this book a 4.5 out of 5. Like, obviously, there's always like, you could do, like, sure, yes, no, but I think 4.5 out of 5. It is an absolute must read, in my opinion, for anyone who likes this genre. And if I had to get on a soapbox and someone's like, hey, Grim from Grimm's Bookshelf Review, what books would you recommend to give to somebody? What books would you recommend to get somebody into horror? There'd be 3 books. Hidden Pictures is one, which I do plan on doing a video on. Hidden Pictures is one. Stolen Tongues and The Church Beneath the Roots are like the 3 that I would pick because they're like, it's so good. I mean, I've said it before, I'm a Felix Blackwell fan. Okay. I'll die on the hill. I think he's great. But I think that pretty much does it for me. I mean, there's not a whole lot to talk about aside, like, I don't want to ruin the book. So, all right, well, that'll do it for me then. Peace, love, rock and roll. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next time.